Samantha Ponder with Kirk Ferentz.
Coach, we'll get to the football stuff in a minute, but first, it's your birthday. And so we need to say happy birthday. I'm sure that your ideal birthday would be hanging out at ESPN, answering a bunch of the same questions. And so first, I apologize about that. But I will ask you.
It's like a dream come true.
Yeah, I'm sure. What would your ideal birthday activities be? If you just had the day off, you could choose whatever you wanted to do.
Probably be nice to have the whole family together. That's getting harder and harder to do.
I'm sure. You're going into your 15th year now. A lot of coaches in the conference starting out, first couple of years. What do you wish you knew in those first couple of years that you know now?
Well, I'm not sure. You know, sometimes I wonder about that. You think you get a little bit smarter or more organized as you get older, but that's not always the case. And I think certainly there's a little bit more comfort level when you've done it a couple of years. But one thing about sports and life in general, I think there's always a new challenge, and things are always changing. So there's always something that's going to come up that you don't quite anticipate.
One thing that never changes is that people want to know about the quarterback. No more James Vandenberg. This year, I think you've got 3 guys in the mix. What's your quarterback competition like right now?
Yeah, we do. We came out of spring practice pretty much even with 3 players that we really like. We like all 3 of them, and they're all young players and experienced players. And I think college players in general improve a lot during the course of a summer. So we're, the quarterback position maybe even more so. So we're really anxious and eager to see what they look like when we get going in camp. And, probably we get about halfway through camp, we'll have to start making some decisions about, who's where, and hopefully the competition will take care of itself.
When it comes to that position, what does a guy really have to prove to you or show you during camp to prove that he's ready to be the guy?
All they can do is practice and perform well in that circumstance. The ultimate test is how they play in games. But it's all about leading the team and making great decisions. And there are a lot of other criteria that get involved also. But they have to lead the team, and they have to make good decisions that are going to allow us to be successful.
Other than quarterback, obviously, what are your biggest question marks heading into training camp?
I think we're young on the perimeter, the receiver position offensively, and then defensively. We've got a couple young players that need to keep coming along. I think they will. And we're young up front, but I think more experienced than a year ago. Last year we were young and inexperienced, and that's not a great combination. So I think the level of competition will be a little bit more healthy this year.
You also made some coaching changes this year. What do you think fans should expect seeing differently out on the field that they're not used to?
Well, it's really been a 2-year process. We went, I think it's fairly unique, we went 13 years with the same 2 coordinators. Norm Parker and Ken O'Keefe did a great job for us, and Norm retired a year ago December. Ken left and joined Joe Philbin, our original line coach with Miami. And so we've had 2 new coaches come in. Phil Parker, our defensive coordinator, was with us all 13 of those years, so there's a little bit less of a transition defensively. But Greg Davis, an outstanding coach in person, joined us a year ago, and I think obviously a lot more comfort level now. But we've had 6 new coaches join the program in 2 years, and coming out of spring practice, I think everybody had a good comfort level and communication between everybody, coaches to coaches, coaches to players, and vice versa. I think it was all really positive.
As you know, the NCAA has been in the news a lot as of late. Everybody has an opinion, but pretty much everybody agrees that the system is somewhat broken. So there's some talk right now of potential meeting after the season to discuss potential changes that need to be made. Is there a change that you would suggest more than any other to the NCAA?
Well, there's several, and recruiting jumps out. I think it's paramount in everybody's mind. I was gone from Division I football for 9 years before coming back, and recruiting had changed a lot from the 80s to 1999. And the last 5 years, it just continues to accelerate. So I think somehow, some way, we've got to get caught up to it with our legislation, our approach, the calendar. And that's first and foremost. I think another thing right now that's really important to the quality of our game and just for the game itself is coming to grips with the personnel in an office, just whatever we want to call coaches, analysts, quality control people, but trying to make that something that's consistent all across football. I think right now there's a real inconsistency, and to me that needs to be addressed hopefully in the near future.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate the suggestions. I'm sure they're taking note of that. Coach, happy birthday once again.
I appreciate that.
We appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
We'll send it on back over to SportsCenter.